Hi everyone, hello and welcome back to live classes. I see a few have you of give me 1 second. Perfect.
Recording in progress.
I see a lot of people have joined already. Good to see you. Hi Om, hi Manish, Amit, Palli, how are you? Good, good, good. Harshita, acha, oh, yeah, Harshita, great. Asim is there, Lahari is there. ओम बहुत सारी खाली चैट भेज रहा है दोस्त. काफी ज्यादा ही एक्टिव है आज वो. ठीक है. Who else is there? I see Bidisha is there. Anand, Heta Shirang, Ayush, Angel, Ruhani, Prem. Good, good, good. Any questions? Anything? Chapter 4 already uploaded, sir. मैं check कर लूंगा एक बारी, but मैंने उस दिन भी check किया था. It's already uploaded. Maybe let me ask to refresh that app once, maybe. But मैं upload उसी दिन कर दिया था. Let me check that again. I see Ruhani sending. These are stars or what are these? ऐसे these are stars. मेरे को दूर से ऐसे लगा these are honeybees. तो honeybee क्यों भेज रहे हैं? Good. दीपक भाई हैं हमारे साथ. Sana is there. Vaidehi, Prutha, Pavitra is there. Good. Mohit, morning. कैसे हैं sir? Good Saturday. Tomorrow again India versus Pakistan. Sunday. मजा आएगा कल भी फिर से. Let's see. I just hope it doesn't rain tomorrow again. आधे ही मजा आता है फिर. समझ ही नहीं आता जीते नहीं जीते ये कैसा जीतना हुआ. FII इन्वेस्टमेंट दीपक भाई बिल्कुल पढ़ाएंगे. व्हाट इज FII इन्वेस्टमेंट. फॉरेन इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर. बिग बिग रिच बैंक्स. बड़े बड़े बैंक्स. They collect money from a lot of people and they invest in different countries. That is called foreign institutional investors. They collect जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड होता है. इंटरनेशनल म्यूचुअल फंड समझ सकते हो आप एज अ फॉरेन इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर. ठीक है. वेरी गुड. You have doubt from chapter 2. Employees come in internal environment or in micro environment. Okay, employees, we have studied within micro, there is organization. Within organization, we talked about three people. What internal environment is? That's culture. That's the way you do things in the company. It's all about the style of working that comes in internal environment. Employees, for this examination, please remember part of organization, which is part of micro environment. But it's more like it's a very vast subject in terms of कहाँ आना चाहिए. कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. एग्जाम के लिए सिंपल है. इतना याद रखिए. एम्प्लॉयज आर पार्ट ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, पार्ट ऑफ माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट. ओके. गुड. G20 summit चल रहा है. I see I have a lot of questions from G20. If you guys are good in GK, I'll ask that. But that's not what a syllabus is. 90% chances of rainfall. तो फिर तो क्या ही देखना है. मतलब बकवास हो फिर तो पक्का ही बारिश होगी. चैप्टर 4 की पीडीएफ की जगह कैप्सूल पॉसिबल नहीं. बट चेक कर लूंगा. ऐसा तो नहीं होना चाहिए. तो बड़ा क्लियरली आई अपलोड दैट. लेट्स. ये इंटरेस्टिंग पता चल रहा है ना. कैप्सूल ही अपलोड कर दिया. चेक करता हूँ एक बारी. गुड. इंद्रजीत जो स्टडी चैप्टर 5 थोड़ा सा बट दैट्स गुड. ओके. नो क्वेश्चंस नो डाउट्स. मतलब इतना अच्छा चल रहा है सेशन दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग इन अपना BCK which is good. You guys are understanding every single concept of BCK. No questions. बढ़िया. मतलब मैं सही पढ़ा रहा हूँ. थैंक यू सो मच. डन विद कॉलेज. मजे आ गए फिर तो. ग्रेट. नाबार्ड विल स्टडी टुडे. व्हाट इज नाबार्ड. आज पढ़ेंगे. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट. नाबार्ड एक बढ़िया बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट है. कॉन्सेप्ट बोलो तो इंस्टीट्यूशन है बट इट इज बेस्ड ऑन अ कॉन्सेप्ट विच इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सो आज वो पढ़ेंगे. ओके. रिजर्व्ड है. मजा आ जाएगा. वेरी गुड. रिजर्व्ड है तो और क्या चाहिए. डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ स्टैक. कहाँ पढ़ रहे हैं आप ये दीपक भाई. गिव मी अ फुल कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ योर क्वेश्चन. ये तो सिंपल है. आई आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन इज हु इज द फॉलोइंग. हु इज द फॉलोइंग व्हाट. आस्क ए कंप्लीट क्वेश्चन दोस्त तभी तो समझ आएगा. ग्रेट. इफ देयर आर नो फर्दर क्वेश्चंस. दीपक भाई का क्वेश्चन आ जाएगा अभी. वो देख लेंगे हम. ओके. आई कैन सी योर मैसेजेस मुकेश. या मुकेश आपका तो नाम बोलते हुए भी डर लगता है. जैसे मुकेश अंबानी लगता है. व्हाई इज अंबानी कमिंग एंड स्टडीइंग विद अस दैट टू बिजनेस एंड कमर्शियल नॉलेज. सुपर. थैंक्स सुदिशा. ओके सर, चैप्टर 3 के लिए कोई शॉर्टकट है? बिल्कुल है। कैप्सूल, कैप्सूल जो हमने आपको दिखाया था, दैट कैप्सूल इज द शॉर्टकट फॉर योर चैप्टर 3। जबरदस्त, मजा आता है। आजकल लोग शॉर्टकट ढूंढ रहे हैं पढ़ाई में भी। G20 इज मेड ऑफ फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस को सॉल्व करने का। ये तो बड़ा ही इंटरेस्टिंग टेक है। G20 क्राइसिस सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, पढ़ा रहे, समझ नहीं आ रहा है, बट ठीक है। नेशनल बोर्ड ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर नहीं, नेशनल बैंक ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर। इंद्रजीत, बोर्ड कहाँ से आ गया? एनीवे, लेट्स गेट इनटू आवर चैप्टर। राइट, आई आस्क क्वेश्चंस ऑफ G20 आल्सो। अभी चैप्टर शुरू करते हुए मैं पूछूंगा, आएगा यहाँ पे भी आएगा, ठीक है? Within this chapter, I will fix some G20 questions. So let's see how we can do that. It'll be interesting. But let's focus on where we were, right? We were talking about चार chapter हो गए वैसे. I was just thinking this morning, four chapters already done. We are just left with four more sessions. Next 2 to 3 sessions के अंदर syllabus complete हो जाएगा. Then we'll do practice questions. We'll do an open conversation session next week कि जहाँ पे you can ask any question that you want from exam. ठीक है, ऐसे नहीं कुछ भी क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, बट ठीक है, विल टॉक अबाउट दैट। लास्ट टाइम वी जस्ट touched base about chapter 5 ki bhai what are facilitating organizations, what are we talking about in this chapter, right? इस chapter के अंदर हम दो बहुत important चीजें पढ़ रहे हैं. we're talking about two very important things. First is, can a business work in isolation? The answer is no. So how does a business function? Business functions with support from other businesses, with support from government institutions. Government institutions, we talked about, so other businesses, we talked about points of contact facilitators, we talked about aids to trade, and we talked about funding and non-funding institutions of the government. Funding, non-funding ke andar we studied, there are institutions which are non-funding, which means RBI, SEBI, CCI, IRDAI, and there are some funding institutions like NABARD and development banks. The question to you, my friends, is, the question to you, my friends, is why are these non-funding and why is development bank or a NABARD, which is a development bank, funding? What is the difference between funding and non-funding? बताइए मुझे. डिस्प्लेसमेंट स्टेक क्या होता है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट आप प्राइवेटाइजेशन से पूछ रहे दीपक भाई. सो डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज you do not respond to changes and you let another company take your position, like MTNL is doing displacement कि भाई हम तो हट जाएंगे बाकी आप आ जाना, if you are referring to that. Okay, super. Monetary aid is the basis, ठीक है, but Asim, that's absolutely right. तो थोड़ा सा और आसान बनाओ मेरे लिए. Why is RBI, SEBI non-funding, CCI non-funding, but development banks and NABARD are funding? क्यों? Why is it called non-funding? Why are they called funding? Because NABARD does investment in other companies, okay? Monetary aid hai, funding means providing money, yes. Direct financial support from funding institutions. Non-funding means these institutions give money to small businesses to carry on their businesses. Okay, what else? I want all of you to answer, please. चैट में एक्टिव हो जाओ एकदम. आप ही की क्लास है दोस्त, मुझे तो आता है, मैं तो पास कर चुका हूँ. I've already cleared all the examinations, so this is your time. Answer, solve questions, and win in your examinations. Okay, funding institutions generate funds on their own. Okay, they give money, and non-funding makes environment. Acha, funding bank means the bank who gives loan or funds to business organizations. Okay, what else? ठीक है, सही जा रहे हो. The direction is right. Because government interpretation, RBI are regulatory bodies, funding bank means G20 अब G21 बन गई, वहीं फंस गया विशाल. विशाल हम आगे चले गए सिलेबस में दोस्त. ओके, फंडिंग who help people by giving funds, सब्सिडी होती है, नॉन फंडिंग gets return for their services. ओके, सिंपल है. Somebody said good points, I will take those points from them. Majority of you are absolutely right. Let me summarize it for you, how to understand non-funding and funding. Non-funding institutions, non-funding institutions are like who? Are like who? People who create are your friends. Okay, अब मैं बताता हूँ कैसे. Okay, non-funding institutions are like your friends, which or who create an environment for your success. They motivate you, they challenge you, they are with you, they are doing something to help you succeed. right? They're just creating an environment. Your friends are not paying your college fees. Your friends are not paying for your clothes. Your friends are not paying your metro card recharges. Your friends are not paying for your laptops. The friends are not paying for your headphones. The friends are not paying for your food, but they are creating an environment. They're giving you opportunities. They come and tell you, यार ये चीज हो रही है, सीए कर ले, सीएस कर ले, एसीसीए कर ले, सीएफए कर लेंगे, इसके बाद एमबीए कर लेंगे, इसके बाद ये कंपनी होती है. This is where we have to go and do an internship. They give you information, they motivate you, they keep you on your toes, they create an environment. Non-funding support देते हैं. Your friends are giving you non-funding support, but your parents are giving you funding support. They might not know, they might not know what is best for you in terms of education, because they might not be so aware कि आजकल क्या चल रहा है, right? They might not know कि सीए करना अच्छा है, सीएस करना अच्छा है, एमबीए करना अच्छा है, डॉक्टर क्यों नहीं बन जाते हैं, जिन्हें उनको पता है सब अच्छा होता है, सब कुछ अच्छा है, बस पढ़ना चाहिए, right? But they can provide you with resources like money, like house, like food, like clothes, yeah, right? They provide you with resources. These are called funding support that you get. Non-funding support is you get an environment, you get an outset, you get a platform where you feel that I can succeed, I will get some support from these institutions. Okay. Now, non-funding institutions are basically there to regulate, to keep a check on the business environment in the country. People are getting loans easily. The work आरबीआई क्या चेक कर रहा है? आरबीआई के पास जाके कभी लोन ले सकता है कोई? नहीं. You and me, let's say I start a company and I have a dream of creating an export house, and I want to export a lot of, let's say, Indian crockery to UK, US, Australia, and Europe. पूरे में मेरे को I want to export a lot of Indian crockery. Okay. बट मैं आरबीआई के पास जाऊं और बोलूं प्लीज गिव मी 50 crores ऑफ लोन एंड आई वांट टू डू बिजनेस. I can't go to RBI. RBI is a non-funding institution, but RBI is creating a banking sector, is regulating, is keeping a check on the banking sector so that I, as a business person, gets easy loan, get subsidy on the loan, get the loan as quickly as possible. So it's creating a banking system, has a control on HDFC, has control on Axis, SBI. इन सब के ऊपर कंट्रोल है, रेगुलेट है, इनको चेक करता है, so that I have an environment of getting loans easily. ठीक है? So that I am easily accessing to the capital available in the country, so that if I grow, the country grows because I'm an exporter or I'm a business person. I will create employment, I will pay taxes, I will add to the foreign exchange of the country. Super, right? So I should get that support. वो support का environment, system, right? All of you, बहुत ही all these meme people know what a system आजकल चलता है, right? System बदल देंगे. So these institutions create that system, right? They're creating that environment, they're creating that platform for businesses. Same with SEBI. SEBI stock market को regulate करता है so that people can go to the stock market, raise capital, and grow their businesses, expand their businesses. And it ensures people are not fraudulent activities पे check रखने का भी काम इनका है. कोई fraud तो नहीं कर रहा है, ये भी check करते हैं. Then you have CCI, Competition Commission of India, which checks that the competition is fair in the country, right? And then you have IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, which keeps a check that people are insured enough in the country. The businesses are insured enough. ज़्यादा losses ना हो जाए, अगर हो रहे हैं तो insurance ले लो दोस्त, उसको regulate करते हैं. Funding institutions, which are development banks, and we will talk about NABARD specifically in this syllabus. Development banks are focused on an industry. Okay, think about this. We will talk that in depth. We will talk that in depth. But development banks, जैसे ही नाम है, these are development banks. These are not banks. आप इसके पास जाके एफडी नहीं करा सकते. यू कैन नॉट गो एंड टेक और इन्वेस्ट मनी और डू एन एफडी, पीपीएफ अकाउंट खुलवा लो, सेविंग्स अकाउंट, क्रेडिट कार्ड ले लो, डेबिट कार्ड ले लो. नहीं, दीज बैंक्स आर नॉट कमर्शियल बैंक्स, दीज आर डेवलपमेंट बैंक्स. इनके बारे में पढ़ेंगे. होल्ड योर थॉट्स, इट्स वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट है, आज समझेंगे इसको भी. बट दिस इज व्हाट इट इज, नॉन फंडिंग एंड फंडिंग. ओके. non-funding and funding. Cool. I see a few questions. What about RBI funding the government? RBI does not fund the government, first of all. Okay. It is a banker to the government. वो टैक्स का मनी सरकार कलेक्ट करती है, आरबीआई बस उसको वही संभालती है, राइट? आरबीआई का फंड देना टू द गवर्नमेंट, एंड गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट अ बिजनेस. वी टॉकिंग अबाउट कॉमर्स, वी टॉकिंग अबाउट businesses here. Government is not a business, sir. It is for the people, by the people, and of the people. पढ़ा हुआ है ना civics में? SEBI provides any kind of loans? नहीं, मुकेश. SEBI तो is a regulator of stock markets. Can inventory be insured? Every single piece of inventory is insured, Shoaib. You go to the smallest shops. Let's say you go to a shop which sells a lot of like denims, right? Every single piece of denim can be insured. Everything in the world can be insured. Every single thing in the world can be insured. बड़ा मजेदार ये कॉन्सेप्ट है. इंडिया में बहुत कम है. वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में everything is insured. India is not even penetrated to that level, right? इंडिया में इंश्योरेंस का कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है अभी. आएगा. The next boom in next 20 years in India is going to be insurance, one of the biggest industries. It is going to be a massive, massive business because 150 crore people, every single thing they own can be insured, from your teeth to your ears to your eyes to your hands to your car to your house to your clothes to your business stock to inventory to your family to your parents to yourself. सब कुछ इंश्योर हो सकता है दोस्त. ठीक है. ओके. हम्म. CCI will study about that, Kanchi. अभी तो एक एक we will get into depth of each of these organizations. I'm just giving you an introduction. अभी तो इनकी पूरे functions, board सब पढ़ेंगे हम लोग. So hold on to that. You are with me for the next 2 hours. आप इस जेल में बंद हो मेरे साथ. अभी आपको सब समझा के यहाँ से निकलेंगे. Okay. Why we have to pay tax? कोई बात नहीं. ये मंगलपल्ली we'll talk about that in the last session, not in this session. Okay. All national banks provide loans. Yes. Okay. वेरी गुड. रोहित कह रहे जैसे लता मंगेशकर का गला इंश्योर्ड है. बहुत बढ़िया. रोहित पूरा दिन बैठ के मानव मंगलानी, विरल भयानी की आप रील्स देख रहे हो इंस्टाग्राम पे, मेरे को मालूम है. यू आर ओनली वॉचिंग बॉलीवुड मसाला न्यूज. ग्रेट. अमृत, विल कम टू दैट. फ्रेड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वगैरह सब आपका चैप्टर नंबर 6 में भी नहीं है, बट विल टॉक अबाउट दैट. ठीक है. लेट्स फोकस ऑन व्हाट वी आर स्टडिंग. दैट्स अ वेरी स्मार्ट क्वेश्चन बट नॉट रेलेवेंट टू द syllabus what we are doing right now. So doesn't make sense here. Okay. Let's go to understanding RBI, Reserve Bank of India, दोस्त. ठीक है जी. Apex body of banking in India. It is India's central bank that regulates the entire banking sector of the country, right? We will talk about development banks also. Please hold your horses. I'm very happy you guys are curious, but stay with me on the slide and then we go to studying the entire chapter, okay? आरबीआई पे फोकस करते हैं. रीफोकस ऑल योर थॉट्स. क्या होता है ये, क्या होता है वो, कहता है वापस आ जाओ आरबीआई पे. ठीक है. एपेक्स बॉडी विच रेगुलेट्स द बैंकिंग सेक्टर इन इंडिया. Every single banking company, every single bank, be it national, be it private, be it public, जो भी बैंक है सब आरबीआई के अंडर आते हैं. सब आरबीआई के अंडर आते हैं. ठीक है जी. इट्स द एपेक्स बॉडी and the Central Bank of India. Its affairs are governed by the Central Board of Directors, who are appointed by the Government of India in compliance with Reserve Bank of India Act of 1934. ठीक है जी. Headquarters मुंबई में, founded in 1935. Okay जी. Very good. Headquarters of RBI. People who stay in Mumbai, they know RBI का office. बहुत ही सुंदर office है, right? I've seen that. It's a fantastic. They're like massive, massive figures outside RBI's office. If you ever go to Mumbai, please do visit RBI building. It's beautiful. Okay. रोल ऑफ आरबीआई। आरबीआई करता क्या है दोस्त? ठीक है, इतना हम लोग ने गाना गा दिया, एपेक्स बॉडी, दिस एंड दैट, आरबीआई, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, बैंक ऑफ द बैंक, रेगुलेट्स एवरीथिंग। करता क्या है? काम क्या है आरबीआई को? ओके, नंबर वन, डेवलप, स्ट्रेंथन एंड डाइवर्सिफाई कंट्रीज इकोनॉमिक एंड फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रक्चर। ठीक है, the economic structure of the country is developed and defined by RBI. Whether we have to be a mixed economy, a socialist economy, or a full-time commodity-based, demand-supply-based capitalist economy, RBI decide करता है in consultation with the government, in consultation with the peers. It's not just it takes a decision; it's a think tank, right? It's a very intelligent organization run by really intelligent people who decide, who understand how the economy should be. Our economy, if has to grow, the inflation should be minimal. We studied about this, right? We have studied this. In chapter 4, we were talking about GDP, inflation, interest rate. कौन डिसाइड कर रहा है ये क्या होना चाहिए? आरबीआई. RBI is working day in, day out to understand how do we grow our economy. Our economy has to go from a 2 trillion to right now we are 3.5 trillion. We have to go to 5 trillion. By 2050, we have to go to $10 trillion. How do we grow that economy? ये तो develop, strengthen and diversify the economic structure of the country. Number two, maintain economic stability in the country. ऐसा ना हो कि भाई कल को टमाटर 200 रुपए का था. You have to bring that back, right? I'm not saying RBI is taking control of the tomatoes, right? What it's doing is it's ensuring that the prices are increasing with the income. ऐसा ना हो, like if you have heard about some of the countries like Greece, if you have ever studied about, let's say, uh, there was a country, I forgot, some African country, I think it was Tanzania, or I don't know, I think it was some country in Africa. Their economy is so lapsed that 12 eggs, that's dozen eggs, come for 1 crore of their local currency. 1 करोड़ रुपए का नोट है उनका, राइट? दे हैव अ नोट ऑफ 1 crore ऑफ देयर लोकल करेंसी. उससे सिर्फ अंडे आते हैं, 1 करोड़ के 12 अंडे आते हैं, राइट? So that's not economic stability of the country. It's a lapsed economy. वो तो फेल हो गई ना इकोनॉमी. So RBI works day in, day out to maintain stability in the economy. How it does that? It's very interesting. Okay, that's a pure economic study how it does that. I don't want to get into details. If you're interested, go watch a YouTube video. People have explained how does RBI work, what does inflation, how does inflation work, how does RBI control inflation, how does RBI control forex, interest rate. Super good information if you are interested. Okay. Number three, controls monetary policy of the country. Monetary policy means how much money should be in the hands of the people, राइट? प्रिंट कर रहे हैं ना पैसा दोस्त. somebody was saying कि यार इतनी महंगाई है, why doesn't RBI print more money? I'll give you an example, right? This good, that's Venezuela also is one. Zimbabwe, right? Sure, that's Zimbabwe. Thanks for telling that. Saloni says Venezuela is also doing the same. The crisis of economy, right? Great, you guys know that. Superb. See, I was saying, what is controlling monetary policies? Like, why can't RBI just print a lot of money? That's a question to you. You tell me. If RBI says यार इतनी ज्यादा गरीबी है देश में, people are not able to make money, people are not able to eat decent amount of food, people can't afford houses, the houses are going crazy. You go to Mumbai, 4 BHK for 20 crores. You come to Gurgaon, 4 BHK for 5 crores. 5 करोड़ रुपए कहाँ से लाएंगे लोग भाई? The average Indian income is 30,000 rupees per month. How are you expecting people to buy houses for 5 crores? It will take 210 years. There was an interesting study in the newspaper that in India, average income के basis पे, if somebody has to buy a house in India, average house price, it takes 210 years for somebody to buy a house. And how crazy is that? The average age is 70, so it will take you 3 lives to buy one house in India, right? So it's crazy. But my question here is, how does RBI Why doesn't RBI just print a lot of money, man? Inflation will rise. Okay, वो ठीक है, बट क्यों? ये तो आपने रिजल्ट बता दिया। इन्फ्लेशन कैसे राइज हो जाएगी पैसे से? My question is simple, दोस्त. We are here to break down concepts for you. I know you have studied this. You guys are smart. Let's understand this as well. It's very important. Okay. If RBI prints a lot of money, if RBI prints a lot of money, inflation will rise. Absolutely right. You're telling me आइसक्रीम खाओगे तो दांत खराब होंगे, क्यों? ऐसा क्या है आइसक्रीम में? Why will printing a lot of money cause inflation, or why is it not good? It will result in devaluation of money. Excellent. Okay. Great terms. मैं मेरे को थोड़ा आसानी से भी समझाओ. I am trying to simplify things for you. You are absolutely right. Okay. I have one long answer then. As with so much money, then the products of commodities also rise and the GDP of India will fall so fast that a currency rate will be degraded. Okay. Because organization important, so सबके पास पैसा हो तो कम काम कौन करेगा? ठीक है जी, वेरी गुड टेक ऑन दिस. अगर सबके पास इनकम होगी तो रेट चांद पे पहुंच जाएंगे. ठीक है रोहित, चांद पे तो इसरो पहुंच गया अभी. Okay, they have a limit to print. The value of money will decrease. Absolutely, it would lead to decrease in the value of money. जितना गोल्ड रिजर्व होगा उतना नोट छापते हैं. गुड सर, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी यू नो दैट. ओके. फ्रॉड राइजेस. फ्रॉड, ये फ्रॉडी लोग कौन है? दीपिका से फ्रॉड राइजेस. दीपिका, फ्रॉड के पीछे नहीं, पैसे के पीछे भागना है हमें. ठीक है. द वैल्यू ऑफ मनी विल बिकम लो. लोगों की इनकम राइज होगी, डिमांड इंक्रीज करेगी, सप्लाई विल बी द सेम. वाह भाई इकोनॉमिस्ट जी, सुपर. एब्सोल्युटली यू गाइस आर राइट. इफ यू हैव समथिंग इन अबंडेंस, उसकी वैल्यू कम हो जाती है, राइट? आपको रोज पिज्जा खाने मिलेगा, पक जाओगे, कहोगे बस यार पिज्जा खाना ही नहीं मेरे को. इफ यू गेट टू ईट मैकडोनल्ड्स एवरी डे, यू बी लाइक बस भाई मेरे को दाल चावल खिला दो अब. सो द वैल्यू ऑफ मैकडोनल्ड्स विच यू ईट वंस इन अ मंथ, यू लाइक वाओ आज मैकडोनल्ड्स खाएंगे, राइट? अगर रोज मैकडोनल्ड्स खाओगे फिर कहोगे बस भाई हो गया मेरा मैकडोनल्ड्स बकवास है. Okay. So that happens with money as well. If you have abundance of money, you'll not value it. पैसे की अहमियत कब है? जब कम है, right? So that is how RBI controls monetary policy. इतना भी मत प्रिंट कर दो कि people start devaluing कि भाड़ में ये तो फ्री मिलता है पैसा. पैसा तो फ्री में मिल रहा है, पेड़ पे उग रहा है. तो कहावत पेड़ पे पैसा उगता है, people भी like हाँ उगता है, right? So that controls monetary policy, that how much money is available in the hands of the people. How do they do that? With interest rates, with inflation control, with GDP control, right? Interest rate से बहुत जबरदस्त तरीके से वो काम करते हैं. For example, if the interest rate rise होगा तो people invest, सेव करना शुरू कर देंगे, खर्च करना कम कर देंगे, तो खर्चा कम हो जाएगा. जब खर्चा कम होगा तो होर्डिंग ज्यादा हो जाएगी, राइट? बहुत ज्यादा इकट्ठा, पीपल विल accumulate out of more money, and that's a problem. They want India to spend a lot of money so that businesses grow. See, our parents' generation saved a lot of money. Okay, that is why India has huge reserves of money. Our generation is forced to spend money. You have a smartwatch, you have a phone which is 20, 30,000 rupees, you have a laptop for 40, 50,000 rupees, you wear a t-shirt for 2,000 rupees, you buy Nike shoes, you buy Reebok shoes, you buy Puma shoes for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 rupees, right? आप खाना खाने जाते हो, a cafe, cold coffee for 200 rupees, virgin mojito for 500 rupees मिल रहा है कहीं पे, and you're like crazy. They are forcing us to spend a lot of money so that economy works. When the inflation rises, you have to spend more money and then you have less money in your hand because you have already spent it. जब खर्च कर दिया तो कम है आपके पास, जब कम है तो पैसे की वैल्यू बढ़ जाएगी. आरबीआई का दिमाग देखो कितना तेज है, राइट? So there are a couple of things how RBI functions and how RBI decides where the country should go. So if you think you're smart and managing your money, boss, no. There are policymakers who are managing your money. They're forcing you to do something. If today I tell you FD ka rate 3% interest, you only get 3% interest in a fixed deposit. Where will you go and invest your money? You will go and invest in gold. You will go and invest in stock market. Correct? तो मैंने फोर्स कर दिया ना आपको इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए स्टॉक मार्केट में. लेट्स से somebody says I don't want to invest in stock market, it's very risky. Absolutely good, but the fixed deposit rate is now 3% interest rate only. You don't have an option, boss. You will go and invest in stock market. So if you think you are smart and managing your money well, let me break it to you. Policymakers are managing your money. You're just doing what they're asking you to do. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Advisor to the government on economic and financial policies. It's an advisor to the government. RBI is an advisor to the government of what needs to be done, what should be done from an economic and financial policy perspective. कि भाई क्या करना चाहिए आपको क्या करना चाहिए, देश को आगे बढ़ाना है तो आप कैसे बढ़ा सकते हो, ये डिसाइड करने में आरबीआई हेल्प करता है. ठीक है जी. नंबर 5, represent country in international economic forums wherever, in any international conference at a global level, wherever they have to represent India from a financial perspective, RBI presents India or represents India in international economic forums. Okay. Number 6, develop adequate and sound banking system for the growth of money and markets. राइट. डेवलप एडिक्वेट एंड साउंड बैंकिंग सिस्टम बनाना है कि एचडीएफसी सही से काम करे, आईसीआई सही से काम करे, एक्सिस बैंक वर्क्स इन द राइट वे, पीपल आर नॉट बीइंग फ्रॉडेड, पीपल गेट देयर सर्विसेज ऑन टाइम, पीपल गेट गुड कस्टमर सर्विसेज, इजी लोन्स, गुड फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट्स, गुड रिड्रेसल, कंप्लेंट्स ना आए. अ गुड बैंकिंग, अ ट्रस्टवर्दी बैंकिंग सिस्टम इन द कंट्री, उसका काम आरबीआई का है. क्रिएटिंग एन एनवायरमेंट for the businesses. It's a friend, it's a philosopher and guide to commercial banks. For HDFC को कुछ भी मदद, कोई भी guidance चाहिए, तो RBI is a friend, philosopher and guide to all these commercial banks. Axis Bank को, ICICI Bank को कुछ भी अगर guidance चाहिए, कुछ भी help चाहिए, so commercial banks का friend, philosopher, guide is RBI. Okay. Number 8 is tries to control inflationary trends, that is वैल्यू ऑफ मनी. इन्फ्लेशन कंट्रोल करने की काफी कोशिश करता है आरबीआई. इट ट्राइज टू कंट्रोल, इट ट्राइज टू मैनेज इन्फ्लेशन और इन्फ्लुएंस इन्फ्लेशनरी ट्रेंड्स. नंबर 9, channelize credit in priority sectors, right? If today the government policy, if the Modi Sarkar's policy is to focus on space research, RBI will create policies or incentivize commercial banks to give loans to companies which are working in space exploration or technology. If today they want to invest more in education, so RBI will create a policy for banking sector or for banks that, boss, listen, if you give loans to somebody who's doing a business or who is wanting to open something related to education, you give them loan at only 5% interest rate. जो सब्सिडी 3% की, generally you give 8%, but for education you give 5%, and I will pay the extra 3% from my side to you, so that these banks give more loans to the education businesses, to space businesses, to tech businesses, right? Depends. तो ऐसे channelize करता है priority sectors में पैसा पहुंचाना, capital पहुंचाने में it helps. Okay, super. Okay, majority is in English only, right? How the crore of amount used for the people by the government. How the crore of amount? कौन सा crore of an amount? Gautam, you have to rephrase your question. How the crore of amount used for people by the government. What is crore of the amount? Any questions so far, or we go to the next one? Any questions? Ask your questions. Happy to answer all the questions. पूछिए. If you become developed nation, then interest rate would be negligible on savings account like America. Absolutely yes. You're already developed, तो अब आप interest कमा के करोगे क्या? Opportunities become less, right? See, it's always, see, I don't know, like you, I don't know if you guys have heard that small story, or I don't know the phrase. See, it's always, for if you take an example for that matter, for us, for you and me, if tomorrow we become a business person who makes a business of 500 crores, that's a small amount for a business in India, okay? 500 crore का अगर आप धंधा बना लेंगे, if you create a business worth 500 crores, your entire family's life changes forever for the next 3 4 generations, okay? You are defined as the most successful person by everyone around you. That's number one. But if Isha Ambani or Anant Ambani, okay, the Ambani the three brothers and sisters, if they make a business worth 500 crores from scratch, people will say, क्या है इनको तो क्या है, there's a peanuts for them. ये तो कर ही सकते थे, right? So that is what is difference between developing and developed nation. The opportunity, right? America creates a unicorn, nobody cares. America, every single week there is one new unicorn in US, nobody cares. India में कोई unicorn बन जाए, people go mad for 7 days, right? So because you have an opportunity to outshine in a developing country, same thing happens with interest rate. Same thing happens. That is why the interest rate in India is high and in US it's low, right? Because it's so developed, it's so normal for them. The growth, the businesses have become so normal for them that like हाँ ठीक है 3% interest rate बहुत है. Everybody can do that. It's equal opportunity. People can make businesses, can grow businesses. India में it's not that easy. So it's celebrated. Very good. RBI can take actions against money lenders. Absolutely, yes. Super. All clear. Thanks, bro. Good. MSME means माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस, छोटी कंपनीज को एमएसएमई बोलते हैं. आरबीआई ने कितना प्रिंट किया होगा पैसा? बहुत प्रिंट किया होगा रोशन. आरबीआई सरकार को लोन देती है, वैसे भी तो दे सकती है, नहीं दे सकती. इट्स नॉट अ फंडिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन माय फ्रेंड. प्लीज रिमेंबर हाउ आरबीआई हैव इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट फ्लो ऑफ करेंसी इन द मार्केट. It is printing the money. It will have the information apps. There will be, if I'm the printer of money, I know how much money is there in the economy, right? The banks have details of all your accounts. RBI can ask for that information. Your bank has 1 lakh rupees. My bank has 10,000 rupees. जैसे ही आपके 50 करोड़ लोगों का बैंक अकाउंट है, सबके अकाउंट में कुछ कुछ पैसा है. यू प्लस दैट इज द मनी इन द इकोनॉमी. People have invested in stock market. Everybody knows if you're using Zerodha and Grow, doesn't Grow know how much money you've invested? Doesn't Zerodha know how much money you've invested? Doesn't ET Money know how much money you've invested? Everybody knows your money, man, right? And when you're applying to the app or bank में जब account खोलते हो ना, sign करते हो, yes, I agree to all terms and conditions. कभी पढ़ लेना terms and conditions. आपका पूरा पैसे का जानकारी सबको पता है. So what you try to save from your parents, from your friends, कि अरे पता ना चल जाए कितना पैसा है. Unknown people know about your money. RBI is also friend and philosopher. Yes, it's like it advises them during election. The government spend for social welfare lots of money, so it affects the economy. See, that depends. The government is not spending a lot of money. The political parties are spending a lot of money, which in turn is a donation. It's not your money. Okay. Can World Bank interrupt RBI? No, it can advise, but it cannot stop it from doing anything. How is RBI philosopher of banks? It helps them guide whenever they are stuck with a policy or some problem. Then RBI helps them as a big brother दोस्त. बहुत बढ़िया. जनता 2 कदम आगे चलती है. एसएलआर समझाओ. ठीक है विशाल. और कुछ समझा रहे हैं सर, अभी आ रहा है. ऑर्डर ही दे दिया. अब ये समझाओ. ठीक है जी, समझा देते हैं. Gold is always fluctuating when then how RBI decides that how much he should money use. ठीक है सर, थोड़ा जंबल सेंटेंस हो गया इंग्लिश का, बट ठीक है. See, gold का price is standardized for them. So there, when you थोड़ा सा when you start reading about economy, which is good, that's a very fair question. But once you start reading about economy, there is something, a concept called a standardization of money. So you have standard rates, okay, and then you build onto that. ये रोज फ्लक्चुएट हमारे लिए हो रहा है, not for RBI. Very good. Let's go to the next one, which is a question for you on the screen. आ रहा है? Who is the head of RBI? अभी वो भी आ रहा है. Very good. You have all these questions. The chapter is not yet over, my friend. It just begun. We have another 60 plus 20, 80 minutes left. There's a question on your screen. Answer that. Is black money in the economy is the money that RBI doesn't know? See, RBI knows everything. It's just that it's very difficult to control in such a huge country. It's very difficult to control. When the country is so huge, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari to Gujarat to Nagaland, right? Majority Janta says true. Couple of you say false. The correct answer is true. RBI was originally privately owned, but later it was fully owned by the government of India, right? It was owned which privately, but after nationalization of 1949, it was fully owned by the government of India. ठीक है जी? Very good. Let's go to functions of RBI. Issuer of currency, banker's bank, banker to the government, custodian of forex, controller of credit, promotional functions, collection and publication of data. Issuer of currency क्या होता है? सबको पता है, it issues currency, sole authority for the issue of currency in India, RBI, done. Number two, banker's bank controls the commercial banking system under Reserve Bank of India. CRR, SLR maintain करवाता है. What is CRR, SLR? Don't worry, I will tell you with a numerical. एक practical question करके समझाएंगे. Just hold on to SLR, CRR for now, okay? Bankers Bank, it is the bank to the banks of the country. Banks को कुछ मदद चाहिए, advice चाहिए, help चाहिए, RBI help करेगा. ठीक है? RBI help करेगा. It's a bankers bank. Earlier we studied role of RBI. This is functions of RBI. ठीक है? काम क्या है, करता क्या है. Banker to the government, manages public debt, transacts general banking of central as well as state governments. ये क्या है? कौन बताएगा मुझे? Second point, who can give me an example? Okay, give me an example of transaction between central and state government. Give me an example of transaction of general banking between central and state government. बताइए. Funds. One year funds. What funds? क्या funds? क्या कोई एक ट्रांजैक्शन समझाओ कि स्टेट बैंक और नेशनल बैंक के बीच में कोई ट्रांजैक्शन होती है, वो समझाओ एक बारी. उसमें आरबीआई आपका बैंकिंग पार्टनर है. So like you are sending money to your friend through UPI, you are using HDFC Bank. Now state government and central government are doing a transaction among themselves. They use RBI. No, it's a non-funding institution दोस्त. लोन की तो बात ही नहीं कर रहे हम. लोन की तो बात ही नहीं कर रहे. It's a non-funding institution. Absolutely. Indirect expenses. Rutha, super. GST दोस्त, GST. GST between state and central government transaction होती है. बिल्कुल होती है. किसके थ्रू होती है? आरबीआई. ठीक है जी. Very good, Rutha. Proud of you. Let's go to the third one. Sells treasury bills on behalf of government to control flow of money in the system. What are treasury bills? Treasury bills is collecting money for the government on behalf of the government. See, RBI खुद के लिए कुछ नहीं करता है. It does everything for the government. And government is of the people, by the people, for the people. That's democracy, right? We live in a democracy. We elect people. You cannot go and say the people are not doing work. You have elected them, right? Or people are fantastic. If you're proud of them, absolutely be happy because you have elected them. Okay. Now, sells treasury bills on behalf of the government. Treasury bills are what? Treasury bills are our fixed deposits, our जो बड़े बड़े loans होते हैं, they are like supporting funds for the government वो transaction करता है. It's not taking or giving loans, my friend. गवर्नमेंट के लिए कुछ भी काम करना आरबीआई करेगा. इट इज बैंकर टू द गवर्नमेंट. इफ गवर्नमेंट वांट्स टू कलेक्ट मनी फ्रॉम द जनरल पब्लिक, think about this, my friend. National Highway Authority of India, NHAI. I'm just giving an example. हाईवेज बनाने हैं पूरे इंडिया में. पूरे इंडिया में हाईवे छोड़ते हैं, चलो सीवेज सिस्टम बनाना है. We have to create a new sewage system in the country because 150 people, 150, now think about this, like I always think about this. Now you might feel a little gross, but think about it, okay? 150 crore people, everybody is generating waste every single day. कहाँ जा रहा है इतना वेस्ट? कहाँ जा रहा है इतना वेस्ट? कहाँ जा रहा है दोस्त? ठीक है. Where is it going? Now there is a system for that. Now let's say we have to recreate the entire sewage system of the country. पैसा लगेगा? हाँ जी लगेगा. Yes, there will be a lot of expenditure. Now the government says, see, I have tax collection, but that is not enough. That is not enough. I am explaining treasury bill. Okay, I'm explaining treasury bill. The government says the tax money is not enough. I need more money. Let us ask money from the general public. हम जाते हैं देश की जनता से पैसा मांगते हैं. देश की जनता से let us go and ask for money. Now देश की जनता से is very good. हम टैक्स भी भरें, हम सीवेज सिस्टम का पैसा भी दें, सब कुछ. let me only do anything. Why are you there then? टैक्स भी मैं ही दूं, सीवेज का पैसा भी मैं ही भरूं, क्यों दूं? तो सर द गवर्नमेंट सेज कोई बात नहीं, you give us loan. You general public give us loan, okay, and we will give you 9% interest rate. Now the investor, that is you and me, say fantastic. Government of India most trustworthy. The government comes, the political party changes, the government of India stays. सरकार तो रहेगी, government तो रहेगी, right? The parties might change, but the government will be there. कोई ना कोई तो सरकार में होगा. Okay, so it's a very safe investment. Very good. I will buy your treasury bill. I will buy your treasury bill, which is a document of me giving loan to you for a 9% interest rate. All of this transaction is done by RBI because it's a banker to the government. It's a banker to the government. ठीक है जी. Very good. विशाल से इतना सारा कूड़ा जा रहा है डस्टबिन में. ठीक है विशाल, बहुत आपका आंसर भी एकदम डस्टबिन जैसा था. राइट. दीज आर ट्रेजरी बिल्स. इन्हीं को गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स बोलते हैं. मैं आपको प्रोडक्ट समझा रहा हूँ. दीज आर फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट्स. लाइक somebody sell government bonds, absolutely yes, the same concept. ट्रेजरी बिल्स थोड़ी सी बड़ी अमाउंट के होते हैं, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स इससे कम होते हैं. फिर कमर्शियल पेपर होते हैं, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स होते हैं, ट्रेजरी बिल्स विच आर टी बिल्स. वी कॉल देम टी बिल्स. ट्रेजरी बिल्स, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स, देन जो कमर्शियल पेपर, बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, अलग अलग चीजों के लिए यूज होते हैं, बट द कॉन्सेप्ट इज दिस. ओके. Number 4, makes advances to central as well as state governments. Right? It's not giving loans. The word used is advances, not loans. उन्हीं से पैसा लेके उन्हीं को देते हैं. Right? उन्हीं से पैसा लेके उन्हीं को देते हैं. So it's a banker to the government. It's a custodian of the money. Okay? Between state and central government, it keeps giving them कि ये रख लो पैसा, तुम ये रख लो, यूज कर लो, वापस कर देना. It's just a custodian. It's not giving loans. Okay? Advisor to the government on financial as well as economic issues. Advice भी करता है. It's a banker to the government. Cool? Very cool. Number four, custodian of foreign exchange. All the foreign exchange that the government holds is held by RBI. कंट्रोलर ऑफ क्रेडिट, मैंने आपको ये तो बहुत ही अच्छे से समझा दिया कि इट कंट्रोल्स क्रेडिट थ्रू इन्फ्लेशन, थ्रू इंटरेस्ट रेट्स, by controlling the purchasing power of people. I just explained, right? The generation before us saved a lot of money. Now they're increasing our purchasing power. We are spending lakhs of rupees every year just because we want to, just because हमें materialistic बना दिया गया है, right? We want good shoes, we want good clothes, we want this stylish mugs होने चाहिए मेरे पास, एक stylish पानी का होना चाहिए, एक laptop, I should have a good bag, I should have a tote bag, ये वो whatever it is, right? So they have increased our purchasing power, and that is what RBI does. That's the function of RBI. Number six, promotional functions, right? Promotional functions, classic example, UPI, digital economy, scan and pay, no cashless economy. All these are promotional functions of RBI. It is promoting people to get off cash, be more digital so that everything is under control and easy to track. Okay. Digital economy, UPI, beam UPI, scan karo, ye karo, sab kuch karo. All of this is promotional function of RBI. It's promoting digital economy. Okay. Collection and publication of data. Very simple. जब इतना सारा data है उसके पास, it gives out a lot of information that the businesses can be used, right? That the businesses can use for their decision making. Now, for example, if RBI has so much information, then RBI publishes a report saying that, listen, people in South India, people in the southern part of India, I would say South India, but the southern part of India are more active on UPI than people in the eastern part of India. Okay? Now they give a data. They say 73% of the population in southern part of India is using UPI, but only 13% of population in eastern India, right? In eastern India is using UPI. That's a data point that RBI has access to, and they have shared that with general public. Now, you as a business doing business in southern part of India will realize that, boss, listen, मेरे को तो यहाँ पे यूपीआई पे ही काम करना पड़ेगा because a lot of people use. But if I'm a business person wanting to expand or working in the eastern part of India, I still know people are going to give me money cash. यहाँ पे यूपीआई ज्यादा कोई यूज करता नहीं है, right? That's a data point that businesses can use. It's a facilitator. Chapter number 5 is facilitation. अभी वो पढ़ाता हूँ आपको कि how is it facilitate. ये तो हो गया कि काम क्या है. The chapter is facilitator of businesses. Then how is RBI facilitating the businesses of the country, दोस्त? अब ये बताते हैं आपको, ठीक है? Business facilitation by RBI. Currency policy, credit policy, development of financial systems, and payment mechanism. Currency policy. If the purchasing power, like currency flow in the country, the demonetization, remonetization, foreign currency flow है, adequacy of currency है, तो इसका मतलब क्या है? That means the purchasing power of the country is increasing. That means you as a business will succeed because people in India have started spending a lot of money. Have started spending a lot of money. Okay. People are ready to pay 700. People from Bangalore, people especially from Bangalore will know going to an airport, the charges of cab are equal to the air ticket. अगर 4,000 रुपए की air ticket है, तो to and fro from one side airport is 2,000 rupees cab. You're like, why? But people are ready to pay that. There are like thousands of taxis every day going to the airport. 2,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees for airport. It's crazy. But people are ready to pay. So you as a business will know that the purchasing power, the currency flow in the economy is very strong. People are ready to pay. There is enough money with people. I as a business will succeed. Simple maths है ना दोस्त मेरे लिए. मेरे को ज्यादा दिमाग लगाना ही नहीं है. लोग खर्चा कर रहे हैं. And my business will succeed. I will sell a samosa for 80 rupees. People are selling samosas for 80 rupees. They have this butter paneer masala samosa, like samosa and whatnot, macaroni samosa, 80 rupees for a samosa, and you're like, 80 रुपए का samosa दोस्त? Because purchasing and people are standing there in lines, people are taking tokens, standing in lines, waiting for it. That means the purchasing power of the country has increased. This is the time for you to do business, those. Okay. Number two, payment mechanism. Now, payment mechanism defined by RBI, promoted by RBI is digital. Go digital, go UPI, online payments, digital apps, credit cards, go for credit cards, go for credit scores, this and that. It's promoting a lot of things, right? So that gives you a lot of information as a business person that what is the future of or what is the way I should do my business. Will I get a lot of cash or will I get a lot of money in my bank directly? I have to manage that transaction as a business person. Facilitation by RBI. It's easy for you to manage in the bank, even though you have to pay a lot of taxes on that. Cash may you might not have to pay, but managing money in the bank is really, really easy. You know how the system is. Probably, I don't know if you guys are very interested in how in the economy. I am, so I keep reading about this. RBI or the government is putting pressure from all the sides. Okay. Now somebody says I only do transactions in cash, तो मुझे tax नहीं भरना पड़ता है. Because I do not declare my cash, so I don't have to really pay taxes. So the government says no problem. आपको जितना cash में कमाना है आप कमाओ. You cannot spend in cash. You can earn as much as you want and not declare and save taxes, but then you will not be able to do expenses. But then you may ask how. You go and buy a car. Honda, Maruti, Hyundai, they will not accept cash. They will say, भाई बैंक ट्रांसफर कर दो. थोड़ा सा अमाउंट वी विल टेक, बट ये नहीं कि पूरी 20 लाख की गाड़ी कैश में. They will have to create a bill. The moment they create a bill, they need your PAN card. If they need your PAN card, that means government comes to know that boss, आपके पास पैसा कैसे आया? आपने तो डिक्लेयर ही नहीं किया. You cannot buy cars, you cannot buy houses, you cannot go outside the country because your visa application needs 3 years of income tax return. And if you're not filing or not declaring the right amount, you will not get visa. पैसे का करोगे क्या? जब घूमने नहीं जा सकते, गाड़ी नहीं ले सकते, घर नहीं ले सकते, राइट? खाना खाने जाओगे तो रेस्टोरेंट सेज नो कैश, यूपीआई स्कैन एंड पे अस, राइट? खाना नहीं खा पाओगे बाहर, पैसे का करोगे क्या दोस्त? आई हैव 5,000 crores कैश, खर्च कहाँ करोगे? बहुत मुश्किल है. I'm saying it's difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult. So that is how RBI is creating a system to control things, to streamline things. It's going towards a developed economy. Okay. Development of financial systems, curb black money, easy flow, credit flow, banking system strong. People trust banks. People want to deposit money in the banks and people want to take loans from the banks. It should be a trustworthy system that is ensured by RBI. ठीक है जी. Abhi, a lot of people had this question. A lot of people had this question that boss, what is SLR? CRR क्या है? Repo rate क्या है? Reverse repo rate क्या होता है? Basis point क्या होता है? Let's understand. Okay, let's understand these concepts with examples. You will remember this for life. Okay, great. Very good. विशाल, आप 15 रुपए का समोसा खाते हो, बहुत अच्छी बात है. बहुत अच्छे पैसे बचा रहे हो आप. Very good. Okay. There are government benefits? That's why government says pay digital. Absolutely yes. Absolutely. कितने भी accounts खुलवा लो, the government, if you ever file your income tax return or any of you have ever seen an income tax return, अब तो automatically सारे banks की information upload हो जाती है. You don't even have to select or declare. वो अपने आप ही आता है कि ये सारे आपके banks हैं. And you're like, कि आपको कैसे पता? अरे हमको सब पता है. वैष्णवी चैप्टर 6 में पढ़ेंगे क्लियरिंग हाउस. थोड़ा वेट करो, अभी चैप्टर 5 पे है. ओके. The concepts are basis point. Number one concept you need to understand is basis points. Interest rate is always referred to in basis points. 1%, 1% is equal to 100 basis points. So if the bank interest rate is 7.75%, ठीक है जी, 1% इज इक्वल टू 100 basis points. याद रखो इसको, फॉर एवर, पूरी जिंदगी काम आने वाला है ये. इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन अ फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर, you are going to remember this for life. हर जगह यूज होता है, every company uses it. 1% is equal to 100 basis points. If the bank interest rate is 7.75%, RBI reduces it by 25 basis points. That means it reduces it by 0.25%. Okay. So the new interest rate will be 7.5%. न्यूज में आता है आरबीआई reduced और slashed rates by 25 basis points. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है 25% से कम कर दिया. This means 0.25% कम कर दिया. So 7.75 से 2.25 कम करा तो 2.25 का 7.5 बन गया. ठीक है जी. That is how basis points work. Repo rate. Repo rate. RBI is the banker to banks. ठीक है जी. रेपो रेट का पहले तो समझो फुल फॉर्म इज रीपर्चेज रेट. रीपर्चेज रेट. नाउ RBI is a non-funding institution. Now you may ask, RBI तो non-funding है, तो why are banks borrowing money from the RBI? बहुत अच्छी बात है. ग्रेट कॉन्सेप्ट. यार अभी आप कह रहे हो नॉन फंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन है, नाउ यू आर सेइंग इट्स द बैंक्स कैन बोरो मनी फ्रॉम द आरबीआई एंड द रेट एट व्हिच द बैंक्स बोरो मनी फ्रॉम द आरबीआई इट्स कॉल्ड रेपो रेट. तो ये क्या मजाक है, ये तो फंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन हो गया. नहीं दोस्त, इट्स नॉट फंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन. इट्स नॉट फंडिंग द बिजनेसेस. इट्स फंडिंग इट्स ओन सेक्टर. मैनेज कर रहा है वो. इट्स नॉट गिविंग आउट मनी. It's not giving out money for expansion. It is not giving out money for expansion or for growth. It is just giving out money. Why? To control the banking system. ठीक है, समझिए इसको. It is not funding them to grow. अरे HDFC ये लो 5,000 करोड़, 500 ब्रांचेस खोल दो. नहीं, RBI doesn't do that. RBI doesn't give out money to HDFC or ICICI or for that matter Punjab National Bank or SBI कि सी टैक्स कलेक्शन है, सरकार ने इतना सारा टैक्स कलेक्ट किया, I have tax money, you take this tax money and expand your branches. People will be like, what is this joke? You're collecting tax to make HDFC rich. So RBI cannot do that. What RBI does is RBI gives them short-term borrowing options, right? Short-term borrowing options which are very restricted. They cannot use this money for anything. There are very strict controls on that. The concept to understand here is repo rate, the rate at which it helps, supports those banks in times of problems, right? अभी problem भी बताऊंगा क्या होती है. After this, I'll tell you problem also. Okay, that rate at which banks borrow money from RBI, not businesses, not you and me, the banks, जिनका वो banker है, it is the apex body of banking system. So banking system को manage and control, to manage banking and control the banking system, it's creating a little support system for the banks, and the rate at which banks can borrow is called repo rate. It's called repo rate. Now, there is something called as reverse repo rate. Now the banks might come and say, look, RBI, I have excess money. I have excess money. What can I do with this excess money? RBI says, no problem, deposit it with me. Give me money, right? You come and deposit the money with me and I will give you interest rate. I will give you some interest, like a fixed deposit. So fixed deposit of banks with the RBI, जिस रेट पे इंटरेस्ट मिलता है, that interest rate is called reverse repo rate. The rate at which banks deposit money with the RBI is called reverse repo rate. The rate at which banks borrow from the RBI is called repo rate. The rate at which banks deposit money with RBI is called reverse repo rate. बड़ा ही मजेदार है. ठीक है जी. And reverse repo rate is always lower than the repo rate. समझ आया? Reverse repo rate is always lower than the repo rate, which is how banks function. The RBI also makes money out of it, right? RBI is making money out of this transaction. RBI says, if you want to take short-term support from me, I will charge 4%. But if you want to deposit money with me, I will only give 3%. 1% मैं कमाऊंगा, right? So that is how RBI also generates funds for its functioning, right? Somebody was asking, how does it create money for itself? This is how it creates money for itself. खुद के operations, इतने बड़े बड़े offices, इतनी salaries, सब कुछ चलाना है ना. So RBI is actually supporting the banking system. It is not giving out loans. It's not a funding institution. It is just ensuring the banking system does not fail. भाई बैंक फेल ना हो जाए, लोगों का ट्रस्ट चला जाएगा देश में से, right? It has to create that trust of banking system in the economy, that you me sleep at night comfortably कि ठीक है हमारा पैसा बैंक में पड़ा है ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, बैंक में पड़ा है पैसा, मेरे घर में तो नहीं पड़ा. I don't have to care about कि oh a lot of cash is inside my bed, inside my bag, so I have to be very careful. I say I sleep at night comfortably, my money is with the bank. Why are you able to say that? Because RBI has created a strong banking system for the country. There are countries where people do not want to keep money in the bank. They're like, यार बैंक के ट्रस्टी नहीं है, चोर है सारे बैंक हमारे. ऐसी भी कंट्रीज हैं. Right? So RBI ने वो create किया है environment. Okay, that is reverse repo. Now, what is SLR and CRR? Very quickly, we'll understand. SLR is statutory liquidity ratio, ratio of liquid assets to total deposits with the bank. Liquid assets are the assets. इतना पढ़ लोगे आप लोग. I know you will understand. Let me give you the concept. Now, listen to this very, very carefully. ठीक है जी? बहुत ही ध्यान से सुनना. This will create a knowledge for you for life. What is SLR and what is CRR? Statutory liquidity ratio and cash reserve ratio. I am HDFC Bank. Listen to this very carefully, my friend. I am HDFC Bank and 5 crore people have bank account with me. 5 करोड़ लोगों ने अपना सेविंग्स अकाउंट मेरे साथ खोला हुआ है. ठीक है, वेरी गुड. The average amount of deposits that people have in their bank accounts is, let's say, 1 lakh rupees. ठीक है जी. तो 5 crore people have 1 lakh rupee each that they have deposited with HDFC Bank. I am the HDFC Bank. मेरे पास तो बहुत सारे पैसे हैं. As a bank, as a bank who has people have their money in savings account, in fixed deposits, लोगों ने एफडी कराई हुई है, सेविंग्स अकाउंट खोला हुआ है, करंट अकाउंट खोला है, whatever accounts they have deposited some money with me. So I have 1 crore into 5, 1 lakh into 5 crore. मेरे पास तो बहुत सारा पैसा पड़ा है. And I can give out this entire money as loan. I can give out this entire money what people have deposited. People ने तो deposit किया है ना, कोई बात नहीं. I will pay interest on that and I can use this entire money to give out to people. ठीक है जी. I will give out this as loan. I will give out loan to Tata of 50,000 crores. I will give out loan to Reliance for 20,000 crores. I will give out a loan to Adani for 10,000 crores. I will give out loan of 10,000 to small business in agriculture. I will give 20,000 loan to all the education sector startups. 5,000 crore रुपए startups में लगा देते हैं. 10,000 crore रुपए दुबई के किसी business में लगा देते हैं पूरे 5 lakh crore rupees. Let me just give out loans to people. Now RBI says fantastic. बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहे हो आप. Super plan है आपका. You will make a lot of money. That this is how banking system should work, है ना? Right? What if these people come and ask for their money? क्या करेगा? बैंक क्या करेगा? So bank says, अरे कौन आके मांग रहा है? Nobody's coming and like closing their account, right? People are not closing their account. So RBI says, what if they close? What if they want to come and want their money back? People would be breaking FDs. People will need money. Somebody will have to spend a lot of money. कोई घर खरीद रहा है, कोई गाड़ी खरीद रहा है, कोई हॉस्पिटल में है, कोई शादी कर रहा है. People will need money, so they will take out the money. Then that time you will not have money because तुमने तो भाई साहब पूरी दुनिया को लोन दे दिया है. You have given out loan to everybody. Now you don't have money with you. How will you pay back this money to people? Now, if you don't have money to pay back to people, people of the country will tell you, boss, what the hell is this banking system? ये तो चोर हैं सब, मेरे पैसे लूट लिए बैंक. I deposited 1 lakh rupees. Now I'm going and asking for my money. बैंक से सॉरी, मेरे तो वो मैंने लोन दे दिया है, परसों आना लेने अपने पैसे. People like, boss, this is my money. Give my money instantly. I want my money back. That's my money with you. Right? So the banking system में से trust खत्म हो जाएगा. People will stop trusting the banking system and they're like, यार मैं तो खुद ही पैसे रख लेता. Now I have to come and ask for money. The bank says, I don't have money. Come after 3 weeks, come after 1 month. When the loan comes back, I will ask that money to give me the loan back. Then I will give you the money. No, that is not how the world works, my friend. That is not how people will trust the banking system. So what do we do? What do we do? RBI says SLR, CRR. Simple concept. Out of this entire total deposits with the bank, जितना भी डिपॉजिट है आपके साथ या आपके पास जितना भी डिपॉजिट है, you have to keep a certain ratio in liquid assets. You have to keep a certain ratio in liquid assets. Liquid assets are assets which can convert to cash instantly within 24 hours. Right? Those are called liquid assets, like time deposits, government securities, FD ki FD, right? You have to keep those deposits ka certain ratio into liquid assets. Currently 18.5, it keeps changing. You will go and Google, it will be changed, right? कुछ अलग होगा आज की डेट में, right? So the RBI says, for example, if SLR is 18.5%, आरबीआई सेज टोटल डिपॉजिट अगर आपके पास 5 लाख करोड़ रुपए हैं, 18.5% of that should be in liquid assets. If people come back and ask for money, you can convert that liquid asset into cash and give it back to them. That is called SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. Statutory means by law. By law, you have to keep certain ratio into liquid assets. इसको बोलते हैं स्टैट्यूटरी लिक्विडिटी रेशियो मेरे दोस्त. ठीक है. सेकंड रेशियो है कैश रिजर्व रेशियो. You have to keep 18.5% in liquid assets and you have to keep 3% of the total deposits in hard cash. कैश चाहिए भैया मेरे को. कैश होना चाहिए 3% आपके टोटल डिपॉजिट का at any given point in time. At any given point in time, your bank should have 3% of the total deposits in cash form. कोई पैसा आके मांगेगा तो उसको मिलना चाहिए उस टाइम. That is how it's creating and regulating a trustworthy functional banking system. It's called cash reserve ratio. So 18.5 plus 3, around 21.5% of total deposits तो बैंक के पास रहेंगे रिजर्व में. The balance 78.5% of the deposits they can give out as loans. ठीक है. वो 78.5% पैसा they can give out as loans and make money, but this 21.5, 18.5 SLR and 3% which keeps changing, they have to keep as a reserve, right? Kaushiki has just Googled and she's telling SLR 18, CRR 4.5. So they are increasing SLR and CRR. इससे पहले मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ. ठीक है. अब ये SLR और CRR से if understand this very carefully. Now if RBI increases this SLR and CRR, if RBI increases the SLR and CRR, what is it trying to do? Tell me. अगर आरबीआई कल को एसएलआर says that is 25% and CRR is 10%, so what is RBI trying to do? You tell me. What is RBI trying to do, दोस्त? एसएलआर सीआरआर बढ़ा दिया, करना क्या चाह रही है आरबीआई? बताइए. Control inflation, trying to create more reserves, reducing money supply in the economy. Keep more reserve with them. Why? Decrease the flow of money from the market. Absolutely. People who are saying it wants to control inflation, it wants to limit the amount of money in the market. You guys are absolutely right. RBI uses SLR and CRR to reduce the amount of money available to people to spend. ठीक है, सिंपल है ना. अब जब SLR CRR, अब I'll take you one step ahead. You are going to be a chartered accountant. Let's think financially. SLR CRR बढ़ गया. Now you are a banker, right? You see Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi में these bankers are driving like BMWs and Mercedes and Jaguars and Rolls Royce. Rich bankers. ये वही लोग हैं जो काम कर रहे हैं बैंक में. मैं I'll give you another example here. Now SLR CRR increased. ठीक है? Think about this very carefully. Think about this very carefully. The SLR CRR increased. RBI decided कि SLR CRR बढ़ा देंगे. They have done that. You as the head of HDFC Bank investment, okay, what will you do with the interest rate? आप अपने लोन देने का इंटरेस्ट रेट के साथ क्या करोगे? बढ़ाओगे या कम करोगे? Will you increase the interest rate when the CRR SLR increases? Will you increase the interest rate or decrease? Also tell me why. If you say increase, why? If you say decrease, why? Think, think hard. You will increase, you will decrease. Why? Also tell me why. विशाल सही जा रहे हो दोस्त, सही जा रहे हो. बैंक की इनकम कम हो जाएगी तो वो इंटरेस्ट रेट के साथ क्या करेगा? इंक्रीज करेगा. Why will it increase? Increase the interest rate to get more money in return. Absolutely. Why would bank want to make a loss? Bank will say, if I was charging 7% average interest rate when I had 80% of the money to give out as loans, now I only have 50% of money to give out as loans. So my interest rate should be 13% to make equal amount of money. Interest rate बढ़ जाएगा. जब इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ जाएगा, जब इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ जाएगा, व्हाट विल हैपन व्हेन द इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीजेस? टेल मी. नाउ एसएलआर बढ़ गया, सीआरआर बढ़ गया, आरबीआई ने अपना काम कर दिया. नाउ बैंक्स इन रिस्पॉन्स विल इंक्रीज इंटरेस्ट रेट. नाउ व्हेन द इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीजेस, व्हाट विल यू एंड मी डू? व्हाट विल यू एंड मी द जनरल पब्लिक डू? टेल मी वेरी क्विकली. ठीक है, the banks will increase the interest rate. Superb. Now what will you and me do when the interest rate increases? क्या करोगे? Demand for commodities will decrease in the economy. Okay, what else? People will take less loans. लोन कम करने लग जाएंगे लोग. People will start investing more because interest rate ज्यादा मिल रहा है. We will start saving more because the interest rate is good. We will stop borrow less and invest more. So the consumption will go down. People in the economy will spend less. When the businesses के पास customer नहीं होंगे, then businesses will start failing, right? Now, when the businesses will start feeling the heat that people are not spending enough money, the economy will start going down. Correct? सही है? Now, this is where RBI needs to be cautious. RBI needs to be cautious about this. And it keeps deciding what is right for the economy. And that is why it keeps changing SLR and CRR. Impact आगे का आगे का आगे का आगे. Facilitator of business. Regulatory of banking system. That's how RBI works, my friend. ठीक है जी? Interesting concept. Question on your screen. Let's see who are the smarty Aryabhattas of the class. Question is on your screen. You have to try this, okay? These kinds of questions, very, very rare to come in examination. This is just for you to understand. बहुत मुश्किल है ऐसा क्वेश्चन कोई एग्जाम में आए. जनरली नहीं आएगा न्यूमेरिक. ठीक है? But this is more for you to understand. Solve the question on your screen. You have to find the new repo rate. You have to find the new repo rate. You know the concepts now. We have to find the correct repo rate. Vishal and Asif say option C. I'll wait for good 1 minute for all of you to probably go through an answer. Work it out. Take a pen, paper, take your phones, calculator, whatever you want to do. Take 1 good minute and answer. A lot of mixed 9.5 भी आया, 2.5 भी आया, 4.5 भी आया. ठीक है, let's go and solve this. The correct answer is 9.5%, my friend. The correct answer is 9.5. How? Okay. Reverse repo rate is always less than repo rate. If reverse repo rate is 4%, then repo rate is 4 plus 3.5, which is 7.5. ठीक है जी, 350 basis points मतलब 3.5%. Now, if the reverse repo rate is increased by 2%, then repo rate 7.5 का 9.5 हो जाएगा. Simple. कितना आसान है देखो. Confusing, right? That is where the questions, or that is where the concepts come into action. Okay. Reverse repo rate is always less than repo rate. That is what we knew. We studied. Very good. If reverse repo rate is 4%, repo is 350 basis points higher. Higher तो हमने लिखा ही नहीं, बस बोला 350 difference है. Obviously वो higher होगा because reverse repo rate is lower. So the repo rate is 7.5. Now if repo increases, so will reverse repo. Or if reverse repo increases, repo will increase. 200 basis points means 2%. So 7.5 का 9.5. Correct? Very good. पूरी मैथ्स यहीं बैठी थी. The first statement is where the answer is. The first statement is where the answer is. Reverse repo is always less than repo rate. ठीक है जी? Perfect. Let's go to the second question. All scheduled banks are required to maintain a certain minimum cash reserve ratio with the RBI. This provision enables RBI to ensure what? अभी पढ़ा हमने. Just अभी पढ़ा ये. We just studied this. D, 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 B, B, B. इससे सारे mixed. Credit position of the country. We just understood this entire concept. I will not repeat it. We've done this. Super. Very good. Mubarak ho. RBI is complete. One of the biggest and longest topics tha chapter ka. We have completed that. Let's go to SEBI. Let's go to SEBI. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India. How many of you know stock market? Give me a thumbs up, give me a hands on, give me an emoji. How many of you understand the stock market? How many of you understand stock? Give me a hands up, thumbs up, emoji, mukka, ghusa, fool, patthar, jo dene de do. I will understand. The functioning of stock market, or what is the stock market? Great. I see a lot of you understand, a few of you do not. No problem, Rohit. अभी समझा देंगे. That's what our job is, right? Cool. What is stock market? Let me explain this very quickly. Stocks are shares. Shares are a piece of ownership of a company. Now, a company says you take a profit share in my company and give me money in return. मेरी कंपनी में पैसा इन्वेस्ट करो और वो एक स्टॉक मार्केट है. इट बिकम्स अ बाजार. इट्स अ मार्केट वेयर पीपल कैन गो एंड बाय अ शेयर ऑफ अ कंपनी, a share in profits of the company, and that prices goes ups and down based on demand and supply of that company's shares. If a lot of people want to buy shares of Reliance, the prices go up. It's a demand and supply market. It's a demand and supply, pure demand and supply market based on anticipation, based on aspirations कि ये कंपनी बहुत अच्छा करने वाली है 5 साल में. Let me invest in this company. That means let me buy shares. This bazaar, this mandi, this entire market is regulated by an organization called Securities and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India came into power in 1992 after the Harshad Mehta scam got revealed or got busted, which probably saw a lot of flaws in the stock market. Today, so earlier, what people used to do, people used to inflate the shares of a particular company and make a lot of money and defraud a lot of other people. So, for example, let me explain this in 30 seconds. Okay. If you are a particular person and you want to buy shares of a company, let's say there the share of the company is for 10 rupees. You have 1 crore rupees. ठीक है, आपके पास 1 करोड़ रुपए है. आपने एक शेयर देखा कंपनी का which is for 10 rupees. What will you do? The market is based on demand and supply, my friend. Market is based on demand and supply. You invest 50 lakh rupees into this 10 rupees ka share. So now, when people go and see ki kitni volume, why are people buying this? Who is buying? How much shares are being bought of which company? A lot of people will say, boss, listen, so many people, earlier people, nobody knew who is buying how many shares, okay? Because technology नहीं थी, 1992 की बात कर रहे हैं. So people used to buy like 50 lakh rupees for a 10 rupee share. So somebody bought 1 lakh share, so like 5 lakh shares of this company, right? Or I wouldn't know somebody buy. I will think because I did not have technology or computers and phones. I would think, boss, ये शेयर तो बहुत सारे लोग खरीद रहे हैं. 5 लाख लोगों ने शेयर खरीदा है इस कंपनी का. लेट मी ऑल्सो बाय. When people start buying, that means demand goes up, and when demand goes up, the price goes up. Now I know the person who had 50 lakh rupees कि भाई this share is zero value. There is no value, there is no future of the company. I am just manipulating the share. ठीक है. I bought invested 50 lakh rupees. People thought, oh, इतने सारा लोग are investing. It thinks it looks like a good company. Let me also buy. That 10 rupee share become 15, 20, 25, and people still keep on buying कि अरे बहुत अच्छी कंपनी होगी, see so many people are buying, see so many people are buying, right? That is herd mentality, right? आज भी तो वही हो रहा है. A lot of people buying Nike sneakers for 15,000. कोई यूज है नहीं, but people are buying, चलो हम भी खरीदते हैं, right? I can afford, I don't know. Is that valuable? I don't know. But let me also go and buy, right? That's herd mentality. That's how market functions. No right and wrong. It's your personal choice. It's your money. You decide how you want to spend, right? But that is how shares also build up. अब वो 10 rupees का share became a 50 rupees का share because so many people bought, demand बढ़ रही है. I am a 50 lakh rupee person at 10 rupees. I invested 5x हो गया. My 50 lakh rupees became 2.5 crore rupees. I bought back all the, I just sold all the shares. I said मेरे को नहीं चाहिए अभी शेयर सारे 5 लाख शेयर्स मैंने बेच दिए एक बारी में. I made 2 crore rupees from this. People who invested 50,000, 10,000, which were huge for them. They were small investors. मेरे लिए इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I'm a huge investor, right? But people who were like really struggling to make money or not so affluent people, they lost that. That share from 50 rupees fell down to 2 rupees because अब तो कोई demand ही नहीं है. Nobody is interested in the share. Nobody is interested in this company. Khatam, value zero. If I bought it at 25 rupees, now the share is for 2 rupees. I have lost the entire money. Without technology, without a regulatory body, the stock market was very manipulative. 1992 mein, there was a huge scam, and the government said, boss, listen, I want a system where businesses feel comfortable to come and take money, raise capital from the general public so that people of the country feel part of the growth story of the country. But people should trust the system. People should feel safe in investing in the stock markets. They should be aware, even if they're not safe, I should give them all information कि भाई ये सही है, ये गलत है, ऐसा हो रहा है. Even if you still want to invest your money, you decide. But I will be liable to give all the information to you, right? You have to research and study and understand it's your money, but I will give all the information to you. Okay? With that mindset, SEBI was created, which is Securities and Exchange Board of India. कि भैया अब यहाँ पे स्कैम के चांसेस कम होंगे और धीरे धीरे जीरो हो जाएंगे. We will create a strong regulatory so that people can be part of the growth story of their country. When the stock market is growing, when the companies and businesses are growing, businesses do not want to take a loan. Loan बहुत महंगा है. They come to the share market and take money from the general public, which is the cheapest form of capital available. 11th class में accounts में we studied equity shares are the cheapest form of capital, but they dilute the control in the company. ये वही स्टॉक मार्केट है दोस्त. ये वही इक्विटी शेयर की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे. ठीक है, वो घूम फिर के यहाँ आके मिल रहा है practically. That it's the cheapest form of capital. You don't have to pay any money. You don't have to pay interest. If your company is in losses, your investor is in losses. If your company is making profit, uska share price बढ़ रहा है. And if you're really happy, you give back dividends, share of profits back to them. It's not mandatory. Depends on the company. It's the cheapest form of investment, my friend, right? Or cheapest form of capital raising for any company. That is why startups want to come to share market. That is why businesses want to come to share market. Free का पैसा है भाई. Adani, Ambani के shares, if you are buying, they're taking money from the market. You're buying their shares. That means you're giving money to them, right? You're giving money to them. That means free तो मिला है पैसा. Do they have to pay you interest? No. Do they have to pay you dividend? Not mandatory. Free capital है दोस्त. Free का loan है. That is why people want to come to the stock market. But stock market should be trustworthy. तभी तो लोग आएंगे. तभी तो लोग खरीदने, because only when they feel safe and heard, there is a customer care, there is something that they believe in, only then they will come to this. To create that environment, facilitator of businesses, facilitator of commercial activity in the country, non-funding institution to develop an environment of raising capital for the businesses to facilitate their growth. Securities and Exchange Board of India, chapter number 5, facilitators of business. ठीक है सर? Very good. The board of SEBI. SEBI के बोर्ड में होता कौन है? A chairman who shall be appointed by central government. Okay. I'll tell you this is beyond syllabus, but let me tell you, because you are going to be the new professionals of the country, the the word chairman has been changed to chairperson now. Okay. So wherever you're using, or I would say like if you're even talking to somebody, the word chairman is now chairperson. Okay. We don't call it a chairman, we call it chairperson. Okay. So a chairperson who shall be appointed by the central government. Two members from amongst the officials of ministry of the central government dealing with finance and administration. Two members from ministry of central government. One chairman, two people from, or one chairperson, and two people from the ministry. ठीक है, वो हो गया आपका board. Now responsibilities of SEBI. Responsibilities of SEBI to protect the interests of investors in the securities, to promote the development of securities market, to regulate the securities market and any matter related to it. ठीक है जी, अभी यही पढ़ा है हमने. We just talked about it. To protect the interest of investors, to promote development of securities market, to regulate security market and anything related to it is the responsibility of SEBI. SEBI has responsive or has to be responsible for three groups. The issuers of securities, that are public companies, listed companies. It has to be responsible for listed companies. Number two, to the investors who are buying shares. Number three, intermediaries like brokers and mutual funds, Zerodha, Grow, ET Money, Motilal Oswal, right? All these PPF, Parag Parek, ICICI Lombard and HDFC Mutual Fund, ICICI Mutual Fund, ये सबको जो Nippon and UTI ये सब mutual funds हैं, India, all these are intermediaries. इनकी regulation, the regulation, control, overview, supervision of all these intermediaries is also the responsibility of SEBI. Is also the responsibility of SEBI. Cool. Three functions of SEBI. You remember we studied in that revision class quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial, quasi-executive. And I told you this is a question from chapter number 5. And we understood the concept of quasi as well, that your elder brother, sister acts like a quasi-parent, quasi-mummy, quasi-papa, right? है नहीं, but बनते हैं. So this is the three functions of SEBI: quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial, and quasi-executive. That means SEBI drafts regulation in its legislative capacity. Stock market से related कुछ भी अगर law बनना है, that is created by SEBI. Quasi-judicial, if ruling that this company cannot, this is a fraud company, cannot raise money in the stock market. This particular director of this company is fraud, is doing scam. Remove this person from the company, otherwise you will not be able to trade your shares on the stock market. All these judicial systems, rulings and orders related to the stock exchange can be taken by SEBI. Quasi-executive, investigation करना, enforcement action करना, office पे raid मारना, right? Books of accounts mangwana, taking decisions, investigating into the companies, taking into control the audit and assurance of companies in the stock market is responsibility function of SEBI, quasi-executive function of SEBI. ठीक है जी? Quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial and quasi-executive. Simple है. Cool. Business facilitation by SEBI. SEBI का business facilitation क्या है? development of India's capital market. That is, market for the corporate issue of capital. It has the facilitation of business care it develops. I've already explained this. Just is just formal part of it. Okay. Development of India's capital market. Developing the capital market in India so that more companies can come and raise capital and the investors of India feel safe and feel heard to probably invest in these stocks and shares. Facilitates overseas entities desirous of participating in Indian capital markets and vice versa. बाहर की कंपनीज इंडियन स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहती हैं, सेबी कहता है बिल्कुल करो. आई विल क्रिएट अ मेथड, आई विल क्रिएट something for you so that you can invest here as well. Responsible for investors' faith. Okay. They're responsible for investors' faith so that people trust to invest in the country, in the growth story of the country. They want to be part, but they should feel safe, they should feel heard so that they can invest in the shares. ठीक है जी, वेरी गुड. सर सेबी में सीए लगते हैं? बिल्कुल लगते हैं. ये कौन सी भाषा है पहले तो ये बताओ. सीए लगते हैं भाई. सीए वहां पे आर प्रोफेशनल्स वर्किंग देयर. सीए लगते हैं क्या होता है? दिहाड़ी ले रहे हो क्या? थोड़ा खुद का प्रोफेशन का तो इज्जत करो दोस्त. उधर सीए लगते हैं, बहुत बहुत सीए लगते हैं उधर. ओके, क्वेश्चन ऑन योर स्क्रीन. Which of the following does SEBI not cater to? Which of the following does SEBI not cater to? इनमें से किसको SEBI cater नहीं करता है? Investors, intermediaries, government organizations, security issuing companies. Which of the following does SEBI not cater to? Majority Janta goes with option C, and the correct answer is option C. It looks after investors, intermediaries, and security issuing companies, but it is not responsible for government organizations. ठीक है जी? Very good. Let's go to the last one for today. We have 15 more minutes. Complete करते हैं Competition Commission of India. बहुत ही सिंपल है. Competition Commission of India का सिंपल काम है, it's a non-funding government institution. पैसे वैसे नहीं बांटती है. Competition Commission of India is not giving out money to anybody. It is just regulating the fact that companies, businesses in India feel that the competition in the country is fair. I can do a business. Nobody's gonna come and crush me because it's a fair playground for any business to grow in the country. That's the job of Competition Commission of India, non-funding government institution. The Competition Act 2002 के अंदर आती है. A fair competition is essential to achieve this objective. A fair competition is essential to achieve this objective. This is coming from a Western world concept where if you read some history, companies like Standard Oil, companies like Microsoft, they became so huge, they became so big that they did not allow any other company to function in their business. They were mad monopolies. They were crazy, aggressive monopolies. They did not let anyone else do the business. तो बाहर वेस्टर्न यूएस में ये कॉन्सेप्ट आया कि there should be a regulatory body for the government that regulates the fair competition. So then the businesses argued कि भाई, why is business interfering in businesses, or why is government interfering in businesses? Government का क्या लेना देना business से? This is our strategy. We don't want to let any other business function. Why are you doing this? So the government said, boss, listen, I'm not interfering, but my job is to ensure everybody in the country gets a fair chance to do business. And you are taking away the constitutional right to equality. ठीक है, तो उसको रेगुलेट करने के लिए मेरे को बनना जरूरी है. Competition commission becomes important so that people do not misuse their powers of being big, of being influential as companies, of being very rich. ठीक है, तो उसके लिए कंपटीशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया बनाया गया. ठीक है जी. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑन योर स्क्रीन इज, oh, next thing on your screen is there should be free and fair competition. The answer is why. अरे भैया, फ्री कंपटीशन हो, फेयर कंपटीशन हो, काहे, क्यों हो? Why is it so important to have free and fair competition? Because there are so many benefits for a free and fair competition. Number one, it encourages innovation. If there is no competition, nobody wants to do innovation. Tesla को opportunity मिली because they knew that if I want to get into car industry, I can. There is a fair competition. So let me innovate and break old businesses. Innovation हो गई. Apple wanted to change, revolutionize Motorola का segment, which was cell phones. Nokia, Motorola की market तोड़नी थी, तो Apple ने iPhone बनाया innovation की. Right? Facebook को तोड़ना था तो TikTok बना. TikTok को तोड़ना था तो Instagram Reels बना. Companies would spend money in innovation only when they know that there is a fair competition and I will get a chance to beat the competitor. Right? That is why it's important. Number two, increases efficiency. If I tell you that, listen, I'll just give you an example, okay? If I tell you that, listen, in CA examinations, if your surname starts with S, if your surname starts with S, you will not pass the examination. Why will you study if your surname is with S? You will never study. You will never study for this examination because you will think that fair to hai hi nahi. Why would I even study for this? Okay. So free and fair competition say it increases your efficiency, desire to probably do something, right? Why are people so against the quota system or anything that happens in the country? Or why do even people want quotas, right? CA is the only course which has no quotas. There is no quota system in the course, right? It's a free and fair competition. Anybody, anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, nobody cares about your background. Nobody cares about your name. Nobody cares about who you are, the gender, the caste. There is nothing that this course really matters. Nobody cares. You are just a roll number. When the papers are checked, nobody knows your name. It's just your roll ID or your student ID. Nobody knows who you are, right? That's a free and fair competition. Right? Now you feel that ठीक है, मैं कोई भी हूँ, कहीं से भी हूँ, nobody knows. I have a free and fair chance to prove and give this examination, right? And my surname also starts with S, okay? So I gave that example so that it comes on me. If your surname is S, then you see for yourself, भैया, right? Number three, punishes the laggards. Punishes the laggards. Question ये हमने revision में पढ़ा था, which means free and fair competition punishes those who are lazy. कल करेंगे, आज सो जाते हैं, तो कंपटीशन आगे निकल जाएगा. आज मैं मस्ती कर लेता हूँ, कल पढ़ाई शुरू करेंगे. Let me just go out to a party and I will just start studying tomorrow. Somebody is studying today, but you will start from tomorrow. They are already ahead of you. It punishes because it's free and fair. It's whoever studies more gets more marks. Whoever studies smartly gets more marks. Whoever answers the questions with focus during examination, they succeed. People who are not doing that, they will not succeed in the examination per se or the business per se. Punishes the laggards. इफ आई से यार इनोवेशन टेक्नोलॉजी चैट जीपीटी एआई यार ठीक है, 2 साल 3 साल बाद देखेंगे क्या होता है, तब तक a lot of people would have gone ahead of you, आप पीछा करते रहना फिर उनका, right? That's punishing the laggards. Free and fair competition. It boosts choice, improves quality, reduces costs. When there is free and fair competition, the consumer has a lot of options. When the consumer has a lot of options, then the companies and businesses start to give them more quality, more better services so that they win over the customer. For example, government organizations or PSUs earlier, अभी वो काफी change हो गई हैं. Earlier, people used to say, why are government organizations so slow? Because there was no competition. कोई कंपटीशन ही नहीं है तो कंपनी कहती भाई क्यों सर्विस दूं मैं, कस्टमर हो ना हो मेरी कंपनी तो रहेगी. इट्स गवर्नमेंट ओन्ड. आई डोंट केयर अबाउट यू आर द कस्टमर और नो नॉट द कस्टमर. नोबडी इज गोना कम एंड टेक अवे माय जॉब और माय बिजनेस. So they did not care about the customer. Now, when there is competition, everybody has to work for it. LIC has competition from a lot of insurance companies, HDFC Insurance, ICI Insurance, this insurance, that insurance. LIC की market share कम होना शुरू हो गया था. Then LIC said, boss, listen, this is not how we are going to work. We are going to be the number one. We will compete with the private market. And that is what LIC is doing. So competition, free and fair, increases the quality of services and products in the economy. It gives options to the consumer. Consumer says, boss, मेरे को आप नहीं दे रहे, कोई बात नहीं, मैं दूसरे से ले लूंगा. Right? That is what competition, free and fair does. Number 5, ensures availability of acceptable quality at affordable prices. Market rate set कर देती है free and fair competition. If you are eating momos, right? You go to your momos, wala bhaiya, didi, whoever your favorite is, they give, let's say, 100 rupees for chicken momos, right? Somebody is saying कि भाई मेरे तो momos बहुत better, 500 rupees for 10 momos. People might say ऐसा क्या है, चलो ट्राई करके देखते हैं क्या है 500 रुपए का, बट ये तो सेम ही है. People will not go to that 500 rupees if the quality is same. Then that person or business will have to reduce the price to let customers come. So free and fair competition balance out कर देता है prices को, affordability of a particular product. It manages or balances the affordability of a particular product. That is what is going to happen in the real estate as well. It's going crazy. Real estate is growing absolutely bonkers with what the prices are. अभी यहाँ पे stability आएगी. You would have heard about from your parents कि भाई हमने तो ये घर 2 लाख रुपए का खरीदा था, आज 2 करोड़ का हो गया. And you're like, यार, my time when I have to buy houses already 2 करोड़ के and I don't have 2 crore rupees. I will never have 2 crore rupees. But the house is for 2 crore rupees. But that time when the house is for 2 lakh, you were able to manage. It was not easy. Like you had like 1 lakh rupees with you and you took a loan of 1 lakh rupees और आपने ले लिया. वो आज 2 करोड़ का हो गया. I don't have 1 crore rupees and I cannot take a loan for 1 crore rupees. तो मेरे को तो 2 करोड़ का घर मिलेगा ही नहीं कभी. So the market has gone crazy for real estate. Now this will come to a balance very soon. That is how affordability in free and fair competition works. अभी free and fair competition नहीं है. You will see a lot of builders, right? It's a very saturated की जगह बड़ी close knit market है. 7, 8 big builders in India are only doing the big societies. You will have Godrej, DLF, or Salarpuria, Prestige, right? Hiranandanis and this and that. These people are just like Ajmera and whatnot. Okay, very big builders. 7, 8 लोग हैं जो सारा building बना रहे हैं. So they are increasing the prices. When there comes a free and fair, when everybody is able to build houses, something will happen in the system, something will change, and the affordability will come back, right? It will take time, but that is how industries work. Okay, cool. Competition law is a tool to implement and enforce competition. The act prohibits what? अच्छा भाई, सीसीआई रोकता कैसे है? फ्री एंड फेयर कंपटीशन इंश्योर कैसे करता है? नंबर वन, एंटी कंपेटिटिव अग्रीमेंट्स को प्रोहिबिट करता है. Prohibit means stops or does not accept. As per Competition Commission Act, if somebody goes to the court of law and says कि भाई ये तो anti competitive agreement है. For example, I tell you, okay, now listen to this very carefully. Your friend comes to you, your friend is very rich. Your friend is very rich. She comes to you and she says, boss, listen, तू सीए छोड़ दे, ये ले 50 लाख रुपए. Take 50 lakh rupees from me और and don't do this course. कंपटीशन कम हो जाएगा मेरा, बिकॉज आई नो यू आर गोइंग टू बिकम अ सीए. तो तेरे से मुझे डर है कि तू बन गया तो फिर मेरे को बहुत सुनना पड़ेगा. तो तू मेरे से 50 लाख रुपए छोड़ दे कोर्स. राइट? कॉम्पिटिशन एक्ट सेज नॉट अलाउड. नॉट अलाउड, यू कांट डू दैट. एंटी कंपेटिटिव अग्रीमेंट है. A business tells the other business boss, listen, you take 5 crore rupees from me and stop your business today. You can't do this business anymore. पैसे ले ले मेरे से. Competition Act says ऐसा नहीं होगा दोस्त. This is not how things will happen, okay? This is wrong. Second, abuse of dominant position. For example, a big company has a supplier of bottles. ठीक है? Let's say I'm a very big company which makes fruit juice. And I have a supplier who gives me bottles, okay? एक छोटा कोई बिजनेस आया, एनी स्मॉल बिजनेस, दे आर ऑल्सो टेकिंग बॉटल्स फ्रॉम दैट, और वो भी जूस कंपनी है बट छोटी है मेरे से बहुत. आई गो टू माई बॉटल सप्लायर एंड आई टेल देम, बॉस लिसन, इफ यू गिव बॉटल्स टू दैट स्मॉल बिजनेस, आई विल नॉट बाय बॉटल्स फ्रॉम यू. मैं तुम्हारा बिजनेस बंद करता हूँ. नाउ दिस सप्लायर विल से, नहीं सॉरी सर, आप मत छोड़ना, आप तो बहुत बड़े कस्टमर हो, यू आर अ वेरी बिग कस्टमर, आई विल नॉट गिव बॉटल्स टू दैट स्मॉल बिजनेस. द एक्ट सेज नॉट अलाउड. Abuse a dominant position, you cannot do that. That's unfair. We want a fair competition in the economy. You can't do that. Okay. Number three, regulates combinations, acquisitions, acquiring of control, and M&A. Now, the act prohibits regulation of combinations. For example, if there are 3, 4 big companies, okay, और एक कंपनी को तोड़ने, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट मी जस्ट गिव यू वन एग्जाम्पल. tomorrow if TikTok is coming in India, I'm just giving it, let's say US में TikTok चलता है, okay? TikTok को तोड़ने के लिए, to beat TikTok, Instagram and Twitter, they come together and say चलो हम दोनों मिलके काम करते हैं और TikTok को बंद करवाना है हमें. The act says not allowed. You cannot combine yourself to beat. It's unfair to the customer. It's unfair to the customer. That means you're using your position to just close down the businesses of the competition. It's not allowed, right? It's not allowed. It's wrong. It's unfair. That is how it regulates. Now, you would say, ये तो सब कुछ अभी भी हो रहा है. Somebody would come and say, यार ये क्या रोक रही? तो आज भी हो. All of these three 100% होती होंगी, आज भी होती होंगी, हर कोई करता होगा. You're right. Absolutely, you're right. The problem is the person who is getting abused has to go to the court of law and tell them that this is against the Competition Act, which is passed by the parliament. You have to go and do a case. Now, if somebody takes 5 crore rupees and stops doing business, then that is their choice. अब वो नहीं करना चाहता, मत कर भाई. But if you feel they are doing wrong with you, take them to the court and tell them, as per Competition Act, this is wrong. You're doing wrong and I will not accept it. So, अब होना नहीं होना ये तो आज भी, everything will be happening. Today also combinations are happening. Big companies are buying all the small. Tata buying a Carrot Lane, Tanishq बना ली, ये बना ली, इतनी बड़ा अपना jewelry segment बना लिया. All other jewelers are like Kalyan Jewelers and PP Jewelers are like, ये क्या मजाक है? Tata has a lot of money. It is funding money from some other company to buy all the jewelry segment. then what are we doing? Are we here for joke? हम बंद कर देते हैं अपना काम, सब कुछ टाटा ही कर लेगा, ठीक है? Now for this, either they take Tata to the court and tell ki boss this is unfair as per Competition Act, then to this is okay. But if they don't want to fight or take them to the court, then Tata can do what it wants, right? The person being abused or in the position of being unfair or जिसके against हो रहा है, they have to take the company to the court, right? Competition Act खुद आके नहीं बोलेगा ये गलत है. Competition Act or Competition Commission of India खुद आके नहीं बोलने वाला है. Somebody has to go and complain, right? That is how it works. पैसे भी रख सकते हैं, बिजनेस भी कर सकते हैं, फिर वो दूसरा वाला आपको कोर्ट में ले जाएगा कि पैसे भी ले लिए, काम भी बंद नहीं कर रहा. फिर आप बोल रहे हैं तो कंपटीशन एक्ट के अगेंस्ट था, कोर्ट रेडी, बस बढ़िया, दैट्स अ फैंटास्टिक केस. इफ यू कैन फाइट, पैसे भी रख लो, काम भी, कीप डूइंग द वर्क आल्सो, देन समबडी टेक्स टू द कोर्ट कि भाई इसने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं माना, यू से दिस इज नॉट एज पर द कॉम्पिटिशन एक्ट, दिस इज अ नल एंड वॉइड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, व्हाई शुड आई एग्री? देन दे विल से गिव माय मनी बैक, दिस आई तो डोंट गिव यू मनी बैक. तो फाइट हो गई, बस दिस इज हाउ. यही तो सारे कोर्ट में केस पड़े हैं दोस्त. कोर्ट में और केस क्या है? ऑल दिस केसेस कोर्ट. ठीक है जी. Again, it prevents practices or prevents practices which are against or unfair, and to ensure freedom of trade, interest of the consumers को uphold करता है. Same thing being repeated in different forms, right? And that is what Competition Commission of India does. Last question on your screen for today, and we wrap up the session for today, and we do the balance छोटा सा part tomorrow. ठीक है जी. Does Competition Act cover reducing government interference in competitive markets? बताइए. जी, राइट बनो, आपको तो दिख ही रहा है, एक ही बिल्डर बना रहे हैं सारे घर आपके यहाँ पे. Thanks Dhruv, thanks for listening to me, thanks for teaching, thanks for listening to me. Majority people say yes, 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 yes. Let's see. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. The correct answer is yes. It also reduces government interference in competitive markets. Okay, cool. With that, let's wrap up for today. Already 1-3. ठीक है जी. Any questions, anything we'll take up tomorrow. आज आप Saturday enjoy करो दोस्त. I will also not spend more time. Let's wrap up today. Last 30 seconds if anybody have. हाँ मैं खड़े खड़े पढ़ाता हूँ, हाँ जी, खड़े खड़े बनाता हूँ. I think बैठ के I start sleeping, so I just keep standing and keep speaking. Right, so let's wrap up for today. I think great session, great insights, good knowledge about economy and how things function. मजा आया आज, बढ़िया concept है, right? I'll see you tomorrow, same time. We will continue this chapter. Thanks, Vano, for being in the class. Super, super good. Bhavni, thanks for this. जवान देखने जा रहे हो, जाओ देखो यार. आप लोग अमीर हो जाओ, टिकट खर्चो. I don't have money. I'm not going. Cool. Thank you for everybody who's saying thank you. Right. ऑफिस में आपको लगता है मैं सैटरडे का, भाई आई डोंट वर्क, आई एम मस्त वेला आदमी, राइट? आई डोंट वर्क एट ऑल. Cool, let's see you same time tomorrow. We'll start with this chapter. See you tomorrow, guys. Take care. Bye.